Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Welcome to regular Resco product webinar. This is the time to show you the most relevant and most interesting features we have developed during the summer. My name is Eduard Keseli. I am Principal Product Manager, and with my colleagues, we will be speaking about these topics. First, we will talk about the Woodford, the platform for building enterprise-grade mobile applications for frontline workers. Then we have a great news to talk about. Our data collection tool got a huge boost, and I am excited about that as well. So let's start, and the first presenter is my colleague Alex to tell you more about the Woodford.
Thanks, Edo. So let me give you a first overview of what we've done within this release when it comes to our login experience. Now, as some of you may know, we have basically had a couple of problems in the past that we've identified when it comes to the current login experience. And this translated into us thinking, okay, how can we solve these problems? So first, the old login system that we used and the users know is kind of confusing when it comes to first-time users mostly, right? There are many aspects that are not necessary. It takes a lot of time to actually get through it because the users usually need to learn how to get into the app, why they need to even log in a specific way, right? And then once they log in, their experience is completely different based on the app project that they get into. And last but not least, of course, a lot of support is mostly needed when it comes to either the customers that deploy these projects or partners who educate the individual customers on how to do this process, or even us in Resco. We put our heads together and we basically hopped in and we did this kind of approach where users have a more streamlined approach to the whole login and have just minimal required fields. As you can see on the first video that's now playing, we redesigned how it looks completely. We put in a simple URL verification system in where, for example, here we have a dynamics use case where users simply just put in the URL and they automatically are taken into their respective environment. For example, we have the usual login system via OAuth with MFA enabled, and this takes us into the usual login flow of Microsoft-based use cases. So now we just log in into our Resco system. For an example, we prove the MFA authentication via Microsoft Authenticator, and it's as simple as that. And the user literally doesn't need to interact with any additional things as it was before. Once this online verification and login process is done, the user can go back into the app and set their local password to encrypt the database on their mobile device. With this method, they're all set, they're in the app, and now they can actually start using it. One very interesting detail that we also implemented before, the users had to actually interact with the login system once again if they wanted to sync. As you could have seen on the video, the users now just hit the sync button without any login, and it's as simple as that. So as a benefit that was added, this should be hopefully really great for you guys. Now, a different approach that also could be even more sufficient, we have the way to scan QR codes. So imagine users who do not even need to paste in any URLs or aliases. They just scan a QR code that is provided to them, and this login mechanism is even more streamlined. We hopefully remove a lot of friction from the users when they actually get into the app for the first time. We remove unnecessary support time and overall improve the usability and experience. Now, moving on to a different topic, we received a very interesting problem to solve within the last release cycle. And let me tell you a bit more about it, and then we actually hop into the solution. There's a teaser, as you can see on the screen. We're talking about extending the maps functionality with some advanced things, such as drawing polygons and capturing your GPS location, but more on that a bit later. Now, let me give you first looks into what we were solving, right? So we were approached by one of our partners who were solving a very specific industry use case in the agricultural landscape where companies who insure land need a very reliable way how to basically get the land measured and give it the right sizing, give immediate feedback to the people who do the measurement, etc., etc. The previous processes that were implemented and were not done via Resco were basically very error-prone, had to be done very manually, and in the end led to a lot of reworks, a lot of support. It took a lot of time. So it was not reliable. It was very cost inefficient. And this is where we stepped in. So we basically put our heads together. We got into the brainstorming mode and we thought, how can we introduce such a tool with mapping in mind, which could theoretically make this process very, very user-friendly, easy to use, and unified at the same time. So we looked in possible solutions and we said, let's create our own JavaScript-based mapping tools, which can be also configured and customized to industry-specific needs if there is such a use case. And let's put it into Resco. Let's see how it works. So we did two approaches. The first one, as you can see on the video that's now playing, is basically showing you if you move around yourself with mobile in hand, you can capture your GPS position. This is represented by the dots on the map. Once you're satisfied, you can actually save this measurement and a polygon shape is then presented to you over the map, which can be immediately edited once you're done measuring. This way, you can really precisely measure any kinds of shapes, fields, areas. Imagine a use case where you go into a wheat field or a cacao plant or similar large areas, and it's very hard to do it by hand somewhere from the office. This way, you get real measurement done on foot or by car, whatever you prefer. The second approach, it's already kind of hinted, is doing it manually. Here we have a use case where a customer that already has an existing measurement would like to exclude an old barn from the measurement and basically remove it from the insurance, thus saving a bit of costs. Here we have an area with some excluded parts of the map already. So the red ones represent some objects that are not part of the initial insurance. And the user now wants to add another object in there, which basically gives them a bit of costs that are saved. Now, if you look at this example, you can imagine a back office worker who just basically uses any kind of map data they have. If it's a super precise set of satellite maps, great, you can also use that. And they just add the object in. It is taken in to the whole calculation on the bottom. And this way you can really easily approximate how the insurance price changed. So simple as that. And with these two approaches, you can really think wide and you can apply it to many industries. Not just this one use case, but it can be customized. Now moving on to a completely different topic, hopefully even more understandable than the previous ones. We also looked into how users interact with the styles that are part of Woodford. So as some of you may know, the people that actually used Woodford in the past, it takes some time to really get into Woodford, into the app project, and to navigate yourself into the whole styles editor part of the app, right? Currently, it's multi-step process before you even get in and do, let's say, a single edit, and then you go back and verify somewhere how it looks. Yeah, not great, but we actually thought about it heavily. We said, how could we make this more streamlined, more easy, more accessible. And we went in, we took the whole styles editor panel, we put it into the main Woodford part when you open an app project under the design tab. And you can now basically get in with a single step, see all of the styles you have, and easily access any of them, edit them without going in and out. So we are saving a lot of time with this to Woodford users who actually do and work on the app projects. And with this, we hope to basically streamline and save your time and experience. This was the last thing from me, and I think we can move on to Edo.
So thanks, Alex. Now, the most frequent activity of any frontline worker to see what is the agenda for today, for the next week, for the month. And one of the ways how to recognize this is by using calendar. We do have such component as well. And there are different views, such as a daily view, such as a weekly view or monthly view. However, till now, it has been pretty simple, not showing all the relevant information at glance. So frontline workers tend to lose time to navigating between the screens and finding relevant information. So we made several simple improvements for our calendar component, such as week numbers, which have quick reference on daily and monthly views, as you can see on the screen on the left side. Then current time indicator, which is visual reference, is a horizontal line on the daily and weekly views of the actual time. Then a pinch to zoom, which you can use to adjust the density for better readability of the items within the calendar. And quick commands on the cards, which, for example, you can call customer or navigate customer without even opening the form of the record. So the benefits are obvious: streamlined user experience with fewer clicks, minimal transitions, and clear orientation. And we will continue to enhance calendar in the future with more advanced features. Now, how difficult is to develop any application, whether it's a web or mobile app, without knowing what's going on, without even having any single piece of data what the users are doing? We have been listening to you for a longer period of time that you do not have such kind of information for the decision making. So the problem is with the no visibility, with no data, what the users are doing, what screens they are clicking, what features they are utilizing. So we are opening the Google Analytics for you as well. From now on, you can track, you can measure, you can report what are your users doing, how they are behaving, what is the user journey, what are the most visited screens, and many, many more. Options here are limitless. If you have some experience with the Google Analytics, you know that you can create custom reports, or even you can export this data and use them in other analytical tools. Only thing you need to do is to create your Google Measurement ID, submit it into the Woodford projects, and start measuring. And also we have prepared clear and simple guidance in the link provided on the screen, which is available as well in the Resco wiki with some examples how to create reports and how to build them. And now I'm excited to introduce you Janka, my colleague, product manager, and she will tell you something more about the new questionnaires.
Good morning, afternoon. This October we are launching our completely modernized questionnaire player. But this isn't just an update. It's a fundamental rethinking of how forms should work, designed to solve the real-world challenges. Many organizations face slow, complicated data processing due to multiple disconnected systems. Companies rely on separate solutions for form design and data collection, which forces developers to maintain multiple systems and leads inconsistent UI experience for end users. Complex business processes slow form design and make navigation difficult for those completing the forms. These market challenges mirror our own internal limitations. Our legacy player required Resco mobile CRM and configuration of a project in Woodford. It was built on Resco-specific components, limiting us to developing complex features. Have you ever been frustrated by outdated design that just don't meet modern user expectations? That's why we built a reimagined questionnaire player. It's a single, unified engine designed to solve all these challenges. It removes technical limits and works seamlessly across any platform, allowing you to collect data from internal and external users alike. It's built on cutting-edge React technology, making it fast, flexible, and future-proof. So, what does this modern approach mean for you in practice? First, you will design once and deploy everywhere. A single form works natively in Resco Mobile CRM Dynamics, Power Apps, or Power Pages. Second, eliminating configuration accelerates your implementation time and ensures you get new complex features quickly. Third, you will boost user adoption with a modern, intuitive interface that empowers your team and makes their job easier. And finally, it's designed for integration, opening the door for future connections to systems like Salesforce, Microsoft Teams, custom websites, and more. Connecting your entire business workflow. But the real magic is in the new tools we are putting in the hands of your teams. For the functional consultants, app makers, and web developers, we have designed a set of powerful new features that will fundamentally change how they work. Let's begin with an exciting innovation that transforms how forms are created. AI-powered template generation. Building forms from scratch wastes valuable time and resources. In the past, a functional consultant had to start from a blank template and configure every single question and component one by one, which required significant error and knowledge of components and the expected form structure. Also, creating a proof concept for sales purposes took much of your time. So, how do we solve this? With our new AI-powered generation tool. Instead of starting from scratch, create form in seconds. Simply describe what you need in a text prompt or upload an existing document like a PDF or Excel file. The AI automatically suggests the right questions and components. It's a massive time saver for large projects and a game changer for creating tailored demos right before a meeting. Next, I want to introduce a feature that will completely change how you deploy multilingual forms. AI-powered templates location. Translating forms into multiple languages is a slow manual process. You export a file, send it to a person or another service, wait for the translation, and then re-import it back into the system. This process isn't just time-consuming, it's incredibly prone to errors and can delay your entire project. So we have eliminated this entire process. Our solution is to embed AI translation directly into the questionnaire designer. Now, you can translate a full form into multiple languages with a single click. This means no more manual file handling and no more external tools. Now, let's talk about Power Pages. We have transformed integration into a simple, hassle-free setup. Previously, adding one of our forms to a Power Page site required configuration of unnecessary entity dependencies, handling of extensive tables, and web API permissions. As all relied on the Woodford tool, which resulted in a UI-heavy background loading for your end users. Our new approach is simplified, requiring minimal permissions with modern UI. And To make it even easier, we provide a pre-built demo page so you can get a first touch experience up and running in minutes. We haven't forgotten those on the front line. Our features empower field and office users like never before. All the features I'm going to show you were developed pretty fast. It is due to our modern technology stack based on React and MUI. Some of the features wouldn't even be possible to create with our legacy questionnaire player. A perfect example of what this new tech enables is how we are solving the endless scroll. We are introducing a simple but essential tool to do it, the table of contents. With very large or complex forms, the biggest challenge is simply getting lost. Without an overview, users are forced to scroll endlessly just to find the section they need. This isn't just slow, it is incredibly frustrating and can easily lead to mistakes. To solve this, we are delivering something simple and powerful: a table of contents. It gives your users an immediate structured overview of the entire form. With a single click, they can jump directly to any section. The endless scrolling is gone. And we took it one step further. For forms with scoring, the table of contents also displays the score for each section in real time, giving users immediate feedback as they work. Our new rich text component delivers clear, effective guidance for your technicians and inspectors. In the past, providing clear guidance was surprisingly very limited. If you wanted to add instructions, you had to use separate components for everything. One for text, another for an image, and another for a link. It was clunky and made it difficult to create clear, well-formatted guides for your users. To fix this, we have introduced a powerful new rich text component. Now you can combine everything you need, formatted text, images and links, into one seamless block. It's a simple, all-in-one solution for creating clear, professional guidance that helps your team get the job done right. What if you need to find a specific word or phrase? For that, we are launching the search button. Previously, finding a specific keyword in a large form was like looking for a needle in a haystack. Users had to manually expand every single question group and scroll through hundreds of questions. It was slow, inefficient, and a major source of frustration. Our new search function solves this instantly. You simply type a keyword and the player does the work for you, finding and highlighting every single match. It even lets you jump directly from one result to the next. What used to be a frustrating hunt is now a task that takes seconds. We all know the forms won't submit if you skip a required question. Our new form validation helps you find what you miss very quickly. This is a cycle everyone has experienced. You hit save or complete and the form is blocked. But it doesn't tell you exactly where the problem is. So the painful chase begins. You have to scroll through every section, expanding groups looking for the red box you missed. It's a guaranteed source of frustration. Our new validation feature eliminates that hunt. Now, when a submission is blocked, instead of leaving you to search, you are guided directly from one error to next one with simple next and previous buttons. It turns a frustration into a quick step-by-step correction process. So, that's a quick look at the powerful new features coming your way. Before I hand it over, here are 3 simple next steps for you. First, to dive deeper into everything we discussed, I encourage you to explore the full details on our website and wiki. Second, and most importantly, experience this for yourself. Our public beta is available right now in Preview 1. This is your chance to get your hands on the new technology and see the power firsthand. And finally, mark your calendars. The official launch is coming in early 2026. We are incredibly excited to see how you will use these new generation features to transform your business. Thank you for your time, and we look forward to building this future together. Now, let's move to Q&A session.
As was showcased, right, we moved it away from the regular sync login button. It is now part of the mobile app settings, and inside of those, you have the possibility to basically interact with the same login dialog mechanism that popped up in the old login system.
The simple answer is no. You do not need to pay extra. You need to pair your Google measurement ID and submit it into the Woodford project. And from that moment now on, you can start measuring. If you are more familiar with the Google Analytics dashboard and all this kind of reporting, it's completely free. You will see there your data from your applications which are connected to the project.
So about the testing of our new modernized questionnaire player, it is very easy and you can do that just now. You will find the link to our beta page where you just need to click the sign up button. And then you will find the welcome page where you will see a guided video or all technical documentation necessary to go through steps by steps. It's very easy. Installation of our solution takes just few minutes to get started the solution.
So I can take this one. I would believe that these two things are not connected together. So it will work. Then there shouldn't be any kind of security concerns, as my understanding and as my knowledge. But we can elaborate more on that.
Yeah, the answer is quickly. We haven't built some security layer for this feature. Right now, we are using generally available AI service. Currently, we are focusing on the questionnaires, but very soon we are prepared to be focused on the reports part. This is on our roadmap for the next year.
Yeah, as I said, maybe in the first question, we didn't remove the login screen. We just moved it to a different place. We just switched how the default behavior with the sync button basically works. With offline, it's no different than it was before. The only difference is the login dialog with all the credentials is no longer present. Users simply just hit the button and wait for the sync to complete. So we just removed the one unnecessary step in the process. Yes, I also mentioned it in part of my presentation. It's currently implemented as a JavaScript extension of the mobile app, and it's not part of the regular Maps component.
It is definitely not mandatory because Resco continues supporting your current setup of the projects. But if you are interested in our cutting-edge technology built on React that supports and builds completely new features and is fully independent from Woodford and so on, we challenge you to take opportunity to test it and try migrating technology on testing environment to our modernized questionnaire player.
That's a really good question because by coincidence, we're actually trying to already improve this, hopefully in the upcoming release. And the wish is to basically give you more ways how you can have more data part of the events in the calendar. But yeah, more on that later. It's currently work in progress.